Russia has attacked the Ukrainian capital Kyiv with a wave of what appears to be Iranian-made explosive drones. The strikes killed at least 4 people, including a pregnant woman and her husband. Iran denied supplying the drones to Russia. Azadeh Mashiri has more.
Kyiv under assault once again. Russia has acquired weapons that are having a devastating impact. On Monday, Ukrainians in the regions of Kyiv, Dnipro and Sumy saw firsthand what they can do. The barrage of attacks also hit critical infrastructure, like this sunflower oil terminal in Mykolaiv, causing storage tanks to go up in flames. The terminal is Ukraine's largest sunflower oil facility.
Right now, there is a new Russian drone attack. The world can and must stop this terror. When we talk about Ukraine's need for air and missile defense systems, we talk about real lives taken by terrorists.
This one apartment building was torn in half, with some surviving, but others killed in the onslaught of explosions. All this wreckage is because of these metal triangles, which form what appear to be Iranian-made kamikaze drones. And while Iran flatly denies it supplied them, the White House has warned Russia's deepening alliance with Iran is a profound threat to the entire world.
Iran continues to lie about this. They have not been truthful about this and deny providing weapons to Russia for use in Ukraine. Meanwhile, according to these new reports, Iran is considering selling still more destructive weapons to support an invasion they claim to oppose.
The EU is now gathering evidence and preparing to respond with punitive measures, with the United States, the United Kingdom and France warning Iran's actions violate UN sanctions. That means Iran could now face consequences for violence both abroad and at home. Azadeh Mashiri, BBC News.
Well, let's go live to the capital now and speak to our correspondent there, Hugo Bishega. Good morning, Hugo. So another day of destruction in the capital, more civilians killed. Talk us through the mood there this morning.
Good morning, Sally. So yes, more destruction, and I think now the fear is that these drones are going to be used by Russia to attack cities across the country. We saw yesterday a residential building was hit, 4 people were killed, including a pregnant woman. Her black and white picture has been widely shared on social media here, so she's become one of the faces of the tragedy here yesterday. And I think what we're hearing from the Ukrainians is that they're calling for sanctions to be imposed on Iran because of the delivery of these so-called kamikaze attack drones to the Russians. And I think we had a statement from the US State Department yesterday saying that Iran's supply of those drones to Russia violates UN sanctions that ban Iranian transfers of certain military technologies. The Ukrainians are saying that hundreds of these drones have been provided by Iran to Russia. We saw the destruction they can cause. And yesterday night, there were reports that more drones were flying here over the region of Kyiv. There were no reports of locations of targets being hit. But again, it shows how tense the situation is with the use by Russia of these drones and by those attacks that have been happening across the country.
Yeah, of course, Iran denying supplying the drones. So that conversation continues. But in terms of President Zelensky, again, he's using this as an opportunity to call for more arms and more supplies from allies in the West.
Yeah, and yesterday, reacting to the attacks here across the country, he said this terror must stop. And I think you're hearing Ukrainian officials calling for more sanctions to be imposed on Iran, but at the same time, they're using the attacks that happened yesterday, also the attacks of last week, to say that the country needs more air defense capabilities to protect cities across the country from the threat imposed posed by that comes from Russian missiles and also from those Iranian drones. And Russia has been attacking civilian sites and civilian infrastructure across the country, especially electricity infrastructure ahead of winter. And the Ukrainians are saying that this is part of the strategy to inflict pain on civilians, even in places like Kyiv, Lviv, cities away from the front line. So I think this is the message that has been coming out from Ukrainian officials. They want more help to protect cities from the threat that is coming from the sky.
Okay, again, thank you. Hugo Bishega in Kyiv for us.